Welcome back. Today's an exciting day. We are doing our first pull of the fifth wheel. Heading out camping for the weekend and just loading up the last few things. So I'm really excited to see how the new 2021 Duramax 3500 does pulling this trailer. As you can see, quite a bit of room between the cab and the front cap of the trailer. And we got our B&W companion here. And I have well over 6 inches gap right here between the bed rails. Everything hooked up really easy. It's programmed in the truck with all that fancy computer stuff. So now it's just a matter of towing it up over the hill. We're going to be going up over Highway 6, so it's not just a flat road. It's a pretty good climb, and it should work the truck a little bit. Nothing too aggressive, but should give it a good work. So I'm really interested to see how it compares to our 2019 Ford towing this trailer. We're about 12,000 pounds, about 33 feet, and I'm ready to get going, so let's get on the road. The route that we're going on this weekend is we're leaving from Utah County and heading to Emery County in Utah. We are going to be camping at Millsite State Park, so we're going to be going over Highway 6. It's a pretty good climb up to Soldier Summit. It's probably 20 or 30 miles of climbing, just consistent 4 to 6% grade, I would guess. So it'll be interesting to see how the truck does. I'm going to be watching the transmission temperature, engine temperature, those sort of things. As of right now, we're probably 5 miles up the canyon, and our transmission temperature is holding at about 180, and our engine temperature is at 210, which is where it sits kind of all the time. Outside temperatures aren't too warm right now. It's only 67 degrees, so that's helping some. With our 2019 F350, when we would do this pull over the mountain, we would usually be right around 210 to 230 on our transmission temperature, and that was even when it was cooler temperatures like this. So already the Chevy's transmission temperature is running a little bit cooler. The speed limit on this road is 65. And I've been holding right about 60 to 65 depending on having to change lanes and traffic and all those sort of things. I don't know if you guys can hear the engine through the microphone. I'm at like 2,000, 2,100 RPM right now, just climbing up over this. It's one of the steeper sections, getting around these diesels. I'm up to 63 miles per hour, just cruising, and it feels like it's not working hard at all to do it. And of course I'm going to get pinned behind this diesel. I shouldn't have got over, but I wanted all these cars to be able to get around me. Good acceleration test though. We were down at 40. Pulling about 23 to 2,500 RPMs coming up over this after the acceleration to get around that diesel. Nice little grade. Doesn't matter if it's a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge, but you really have to love the diesel engine when you're pulling up over hills like this. It just makes it easy. Our trailer today is as loaded as we ever have it. Typically we camp at RV parks where we have water and power and all that sort of stuff, so don't have to have a full tank of water, but Millsite State Park only has electric, and we had to fill up the water tank. It's the first time in 2 years we've filled up the water tank. The trailer is probably right around 12,000 pounds right now. At least right in that area, and it's not making the truck ride rough or bouncing it or anything like that yet. It's pretty smooth, I would say. Wouldn't you, Kara?
Well, as I'm noticing, just going down the road, I mean, granted it's a nice road. I'm not feeling any of the bucking, if you will. No bouncing, anything like that. It just feels normal.
Yeah, it feels like if it wasn't tight on, kind of. I hate it when people say that. I can't even tell it's tight on, because, yeah, you can. But it feels like it normally feels going down the road.
So you were chatting last night with Jed about the hitch configuration. It's a little bit different than what you're used to. Are you noticing anything?
The hitch is sitting back farther, I think, than it did in my Ford. I haven't measured it, but it looks like there's quite a bit of clearance. So I might need to move the hitch forward one more setting to get the weight up over the axle a little bit more and see if that makes much of a difference. Right now, I mean, we're going through a little bumpy section here, and I'm not getting any jerking or whatever. I mean, I can feel the trailer there, but it's not causing any bucking. It might be good where it's at. With the short bed truck, you always are concerned about hitting that cab on the front cab,
but extra room with it.
But it's also really nice to keep that weight over that axle as much as possible and centered on the truck more. And it might be good where it is, because I'm not feeling like the front end's really light. With the Ford, every time we hooked onto this, it felt like the front end was really light. The steering, it just felt like it lifted it enough and it gave some play to it. When this feels planted and secure just like it always does. So maybe it is just where it should be. I mean, we're towing 100+ miles today, so that should give us a pretty good idea by the end of how we're doing. I did clear our gas mileage, so we'll see how that goes as well. And I filled it up before we left. We've crested or summited Soldier Summit, and we are dropping down into Helper, Utah. It's going to be a fairly good drop, about 5-6% grades, I think. It'll be interesting to see how the exhaust brake does. On our Ford, the exhaust brake did pretty good. The Dodge was the best by far. You almost had to give it the throttle. But right now, I'm just with my foot off. It's holding itself at 54 miles per hour. I haven't touched the brakes yet. I'm sure as we get into some of these corners, I'll have to touch the brakes, like right now, touching them, get it slowed down just a little bit. I can feel it downshift there.
And here.
And you can probably hear it, yeah.
I can hear it.
It's nice that it's downshifting and doing what it's supposed to do to hold us back. Now I'm back on the throttle again, coming out of the curve. It's not a very long downhill, and it's just some steep curves that you kind of have to slow down, and then you can creep back up in speed and then slow down again. So not only are we coming downhill, we're coming through these curves and seeing how that exhaust brake will help hold it back. We're just staying kind of cruising right behind this diesel. Not too bad. Don't seem to be picking up too much speed or anything like that. Just gave it a little brake check right there. I can really feel it kicking in. It downshifted, but I can also feel that exhaust brake helping. It's slowing us down significantly. Almost too much that now I have to come out on the throttle. Nice and controlled though, haven't had to be riding the brakes, just barely touch them, just enough to get it to tell the computer to downshift or kick that exhaust brake over or whatever. Holding back really well. Can't wait till we get on some bigger climbs to see how it does on holding back for a longer period of time. Well, that brings our first camping trip with the new truck to a close. It did really well towing the fifth wheel down. It got just short of 10 miles per gallon, but there was quite a bit of hill climbing and that sort of stuff. It was like 107 miles. Now we're going to tow on back and see how it does. Exhaust brake worked great. No complaints. It felt really stable, which is always a nice thing. Overall, really happy with how the truck did, and can't wait to get out and use it some more. It's kind of why we bought it, is to pull this thing, so we might as well get out and use as much as possible. Comment down below, what truck do you have and how do you like it, and how's the towing experience been for you? Maybe you have a new 2021 and maybe you've had different or similar experience to what we've had. Let us know. As always, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all those sort of things. It really helps us out. And above all else, enjoy your weekend.